What is up, boys? Welcome to Loner Spoilercast. We're talking about the very first Star Wars movie. Back in my parents' day, it was called Star Wars, but back in my day, it was called Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
Oh yeah, baby.
Hell yes. Let's go. We're talking Star Wars. Nick, what do you think of Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope special edition?
I said it on our last show, and I'll say it in this show. It's old. It sucks. It needs to move on. It needs to die. We need a remake. We need a live action remake of the Star Wars movies.
But all in CG.
No CG. Zero CG.
No, it's got to be Mark Hamill CG.
All with paper mache and cardboard cutouts.
I think we remake it with Mark Hamill in CG.
So can we specify that we watched the version that's on Disney Plus, and this is a review of that version?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes without saying that's kind of the version most people watch these days.
There's a lot of bad things in that version. Some things that George added that is like, oh, okay. Like, it's mostly in transition scenes, so it's fine. You can kind of get away with it, but it's kind of rough around the edges. I will say, I personally think Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope is a very slow movie.
Yeah.
It is so freaking slow.
It is.
It's so slow that there's not 3 acts to it. It's like it's a 2-act movie. It's them getting to the Death Star and then them blowing the Death Star up.
What about when Luke's a farm boy and he has to get off Tatooine?
That takes like 2 seconds. That is like that's a 10-minute part of the movie.
Yeah, this is the first act of the movie, though.
10 minutes?
Sets them on their course.
I don't know, man. It's so quick, and like Luke gets over it so fast. So fucking fast, man.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh,
there's a lot of that going around.
My parents are dead. Shoot. Well, I guess I'll go with the hermit crazy man that lives in the mountains.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around, because also Leia watches her entire planet blow up, and she's like,
yeah. And also Biggs dies. Yeah. Like, right. He's helping.
Then they get their medals, and they're like smiling at each other. They're like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh, a little saucy here.
Yeah.
Fucking poor Chewie with his medal. Should have gotten a medal. R2 should have gotten a fucking like plaque or something.
I'm gonna say something that no one ever says. Leia should have gotten a medal.
Leia should have gotten a medal.
She should have gotten a medal.
Although her entire planet did explode, so that probably isn't a good look on her.
I mean, she's still the one giving the medals, I guess. Well, I get what you're saying. Like, she let her planet
let her planet die.
She didn't really, though.
Didn't she though?
It wasn't her fault.
I mean, she was captured.
She tried to prevent it from happening, and yeah,
I don't know. It's a good movie, especially for the time.
Yeah,
all credit for sure. It does a lot of firsts in the industry, but I wasn't alive, so looking back at it, comparing it to the newer movies, because that's what this is about. It's comparing it in the current time at the current watch. For the current edition, comparing it with these movies, the other movies that we've been watching.
Yeah, I think it's not fair to not think of it of its time, though. I think we did that with the prequels too, where we're like, this actually looks not bad for it being 1999. I think there's a lot of that,
right?
Because you look at the CG in those movies and they're absolutely trash, but we have Episode 3. Well, they're trash today, like in comparison of what's today. Like if that was released today, we'd be like, what the fuck is that? But like at the time, Episode 3 looked pretty good.
I feel like the CG is like a backseat to the actual storytelling of the movies. Like, because what I look at first is the storytelling
Yeah.
Like how engaged am I in the story, and um how does the story bring me into it to enjoy what is going on? Do I feel for any of these people? Do I care about any of these places that they've been? Any of the causes that these guys have? Am I on their side? Am I against them? You know, a lot of that, and that's kind of how I base most of this. Um, at least my rankings of it. So
Yeah, I think for me, like, it's pretty. I agree with you. Like, it is kind of slow, but I almost feel like it's a breath of fresh air in a movie. Like when you watch a lot of movies today, like everything is pretty like moving. You know, everything. It's kind of nice to like have a movie where it's like kind of taking our time here. We're kind of breathing it out. This very simple story, but we're taking our time with it. You get to like kind of just have these moments where they're chilling on the Millennium Falcon, just sort of talking to each other, and like, you know, Han is like laughing at Luke, and to see like the character progression of Luke and Han, like where Luke and Han is like they're like he's laughing at him like what the fuck, this is stupid as fuck, you're a stupid kid, I hate you, to the end of the movie where he's like, hey kid, may the force be with you, and he's
but
like that
but
moment is so
did
strong,
their
like
relationship even did we see it change from that moment to the next moment?
I
The
think
only
so.
thing that really happened was like they nearly died in a trash compactor.
Yeah, and they also because there's a few little moments where he's like, where Han's like, "Oh, I think I know what this kid's thinking." You know, like he says that to Chewie at one
Yeah.
point with it, and like
Yeah.
there's a few moments like that where it's like little subtle things, and they're like kind of bickering about Leia and stuff. Like there's like moments where you just see them growing as friends, and like I like that stuff, and like, and then also like it's easy to forget, you know, as us, we grew up like I don't have a memory in my brain where I didn't know what Star Wars was. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a
Yeah.
memory
Yeah.
where Star Wars did not exist. So it's
Right.
pretty easy to forget like this shit's iconic and it all started here. Like art, like the character designs, the set dressings, the different the music, the characters, it all started here, and
Yeah, but
I
I
think
think
it's
you give
important to
too much.
not forget about that stuff.
I also think you give too much credit to that. Like you
I don't think
give
so. I don't think you give enough
I
credit
I
to
th-
that.
I think you give too. I think you're like, here is your medal just for starting the race. You know,
Oh, I totally disagree. I
like you're
totally
walking up to
no.
the
They
guy who
finished the
shoots.
race right there. If
You're
Star Wars
no,
was the only thing that existed and they ended with Star Wars, it would still be like the biggest cult classic of all time. I
I
promise you.
disagree.
Like that
I
movie would still
disagree.
be like, damn, look at these characters. Like R2D2 is fucking iconic. Chewbacca's fucking iconic. Han
I
Solo is
dis
so swag. Like
I disagree.
these lightsaber things are crazy. Like what is the Force? Darth Vader is crazy. This music's amazing.
Oh,
The Death Star exploding, the trench run, like all this shit is so iconic. And like
hmm.
I think even if there was no other Star Wars movies, like Star Wars A New Hope would be a cult classic that everyone talks about to this day. Like I'm telling you, man. Like
I disagree.
If George Lucas died of a heart attack at the premiere of Star Wars Episode 4, and they're like, "Fuck, we can't continue," like it would be the most hype movie ever. It was like the highest grossing movie of all time, even then, because of how iconic it was, and like these characters are like so iconic, and like it is kind of slow. I don't think it's the best Star Wars movie, but like I I think it holds up pretty well, honestly. I was pretty engaged with it. I was like, yeah, this is pretty fun. There's a lot of like weird shit because it's the 70s where you're like, damn, they just kind of like hate this chick for no reason, just for like being a chick. Like you probably couldn't get
Yeah.
away with storytelling like that today, but
Yeah.
like, you know, it's the 70s. Uh but like, I don't know, Leia's a badass too. It's like cool to see Leia being a badass. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Hundred
that
percent.
there's
100%.
there's
I
a
agree with you on everything that you're saying, except for the fact that like the characters are really bad in this. They're really bad in this. There's no, I think apart from Leia and Tarkin, maybe the characters are pretty bad. Because if you
I
break them,
disagree.
if you break them down, right? If you break them down, Luke is an empty vessel. Like nothing
What are you
really
talking
happens.
about?
He's an empty vessel.
He's
The
a-
story is
He's a man with thought. He's got his head in the sky, dude. He's dreaming big, but he's a farm boy.
But
And he can't leave anywhere.
soon as his parents die,
he stands up.
he's like,
He
screw
looks
my
at the,
dreams.
He looks at the two suns and he's like, "Man, I can't." I don't know why I did Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
I don't know why I did Harry Potter. It's John Williams. They all sound the same. But
Okay, yeah.
he stands there. He looks there. He listens to the Harry
he goes,
Potter
da,
music.
da, 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 yeah,
And it's
absolutely,
iconic.
uh-huh.
That scene is iconic, not because
Okay,
it
yeah.
looks cool,
Yeah,
because
okay,
it's a
mhm.
great character moment.
It's just
And it
the
looks
kid.
cool.
He's like, hey, I want to be a pilot one day, and
Yeah.
then his parents die. He's like, fuck that. I'm gonna be a Jedi Knight.
But the whole thing
Just
is like
because
he wants to.
the
he
old
wants to
man
go.
told me that my dad was a Jedi Knight.
But
and
he
now I
wanted to go
believe my dad.
before that too. He's like, I want to be a pilot, and his uncle's like, Nah, you can't do it.
You gotta help me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he had his head there the whole time.
It's. I don't
It's
know.
a simple story.
It's so simple.
like,
It is so
I love
simple.
that. Sometimes, as the kids say, less is more. The kids love saying that. They all say
The
it.
kids do all the Gen Zs say that.
The
The Zoomers.
Actually, the one's younger than the Zoomers. The
Okay.
A's. We gotta
the
start, we
A's.
gotta start over.
we
Gen
gotta
A.
go back
Yeah,
over
Gen A.
Generation A.
Yeah.
Jenna.
Gen A.
Gen A.
See, I knew we would fight about this one, dude. I knew it. I knew it's gonna happen.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because it's a great jumping off point. It builds the fucking world really well. It puts up a lot of fucking questions about what the Force is, who's the old man, what is this Clone Wars, who's Darth Vader, why is he so badass, even though he's not that badass, he just kind of stands around and
He chokes a man.
he chokes a couple of men.
That scene is
Eh.
iconic too. When he's like,
That's
"You're funky,
that's
really-"
your favorite word, isn't it? Iconic for this.
This
I
movie's
think-
iconic.
Yeah, it is. It is because it's the first of whatever happened. The explosion of Star Wars, the love
Yes,
of Star
it
Wars,
is.
and why we're all here.
It
But you
is.
can't hold it to that.
Why?
All
Why
the
can't
time.
I?
You can't just be like, because it's the first one, it's better. I was here before everything.
I didn't
was
say it's
shit
better.
was-
But it's fucking solid.
It's pretty good. I'll give you pretty good, but it's slow and it doesn't know where it's going or what
You're
it's
slow.
doing yet. It's like we're gonna tell the most basic story, and
Yeah, it's a story
that's
of
it.
good versus evil.
Literally, they get medals pinned on their chest. Like
Yeah.
if this was a story about America, it would be about a guy who steals the Declaration of Independence to save the Declaration of Independence, to deliver the Declaration of Independence to the president, and then the president goes, "You did a good job, kid," and gives him a medal.
No, he blew up the Death Star. This would be like, if it's a movie about America, if we're using America as the
Okay.
example, this would be like,
In the 70s. Okay.
yeah, this would be like, hey, there's a giant warship over there. We
Right.
need to get the plans to
That
this
warship
person.
blew up. That warship blew up Ghana
Yeah,
over there.
yeah, that warship is bad. Okay,
Mhm.
and we need to find the plans to
No, we
blow
have
up
the
the ship,
plans.
and we get
We
the
have the
we get the
plans.
girl who has the plans. All right,
Mhm.
and we take it to the generals, and they're like, "Hey, kid, you're in," and then it turns into Top Gun. Okay, and now it's like,
It literally is Top Gun.
and now you're Tom Cruise, and you blow up the ship.
Mhm.
That's badass. That's sick. That's awesome.
It's Top Gun with a beginning. That's all it is. It's Top Gun with a beginning.
It's not Top Gun at all.
Hey,
it's not.
Hey, we got to get to we got to get the plans to the penthouse.
Top Gun's like way more about like it's way more about relationships than the actual war. Like it's nothing like Top Gun.
But like Top Gun is like here's the thing. This whole end of this second half of the movie is Top Gun. It's here's the plan. Go do it in your starships. Go do it in your jet fighters. But it's you get the beginning, which is this person has the plans. They need to get it to this person. Now go blow up that battle station.
But really, I would actually compare this movie more to like a Zelda game. You gotta save the princess from the castle. And
princess doesn't need saving.
And then you gotta kill Bowser. That's this story. It's like so simple. Like you gotta save Leia, and then you gotta kill Vader. Like that's it. That's the story. It's simple but effective. You know.
I suppose. Yeah. I suppose.
I don't know why I said Zelda and then went to Mario. It's the same shit though.
It's Mario. It's Donkey Kong. It's the simplest of the.
Yeah.
It's Pac-Man. You know.
Yeah,
you
it's a simple story that you can't even really get away with doing anymore today, because the story's been done so much. But honestly, like
they do it. They do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get there. But like, you know, it's kind of refreshing because I feel like everyone's like today is trying so hard to like be weird and like add so many layers to characters, which is great. I love that shit, obviously. But like, it's kind of nice to just be like, hey, this character, he's a guy who has his head in the clouds. You know, this is what he wants to be. And then there's this guy. He's like he's the rebel with the heart. He's the rebel with the heart of gold, you know. And then there's the old guy who teaches the guy. You know, he's like the old wizard. He helps you out. He helps you learn. And then there's Leia, the girl.
She shoots.
Yeah. Then there's Chewbacca, the loving dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I think if it were up to me, we would restart. Not the Skywalker thing. We would just drop everything and go, let's jump to another planet somewhere within the galaxy or the universe of the Star Wars universe, and we'd go, here's some more characters that are not connected to any other characters. It's just all the same shit, but someone new. And if you can tell a basic story and you don't have to intertwine a whole bunch of shit, I think that would be a good time to do that shit. Right?
Okay.
I don't know where I was, what that stemmed from. It's just in my head.
You should read the comics. I don't know what to.
Oh, okay.
Comics are pretty good at doing that stuff.
Well,
Battlefront. Pretty good.
I like the movie. It's just it takes a while to get anywhere, and I feel like a lot happens within that time, but nobody reacts to it. You know, like even in the bar scene, like so much shit happens at the milk bar scene and nobody reacts. And I get it's a hive and villainy, scum and villainy or whatever. Hive of scum and villainy. But like literally nobody reacts to it. It's just like, oh man, that guy's arm got chopped off.
I think that's the thing.
Oh man, this little thing got fucking... There's literally a mob boss that the guy's not afraid of and just walks all over him. Literally. And we're supposed to be like, oh shit, that's a big old bad mob boss guy. You know, like the side characters are they're just throwaways, I feel like. Jabba the Hutt's a throwaway. Greedo's a throwaway. You know, every character that
I think
comes
it builds
in
to the lore.
The main
I think that stuff is nice though. Like just having Greedo and like, yeah, the Jabba scene's bad. That wasn't in the original cut. But like But like Greedo, it's like, oh, like I think it sets up Han's character pretty well as like, oh, this is what this guy is doing, and like, you don't need everything like, you know, I like the mystery of Han Solo a little bit, and the other thing is like I think that's understated with Star Wars, the original Star Wars. Is like there's a lot of like I found myself laughing at some of the comedy that I normally had not laughed at. I thought it was maybe it's just because I'm turning into an old fucking man, and I just I don't know, but like
You're like, ha ha ha. He says sister a lot.
hey,
Listen here, sister.
hey sister. No, that's not it. But like that scene where he cuts the hand off and everyone stops, and then they're like, okay, on with our lives. Like
Mhm.
that's played for a joke. Like that's a joke, and like obviously the scene with Hod, like, oh hey, how you doing? When he's talking to, but then there's also like I think C-3PO is fucking hilarious in this movie too. I think.
Oh, I hate C-3PO on this one.
Uh,
Such a worry wart, but he's like overly worried.
I think that scene where he's like, oh yeah, I turned it off is fucking hilarious. Like when he's like, oh yeah, I turned the transponder off.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I
Turn this
turned
back
it off.
on. Like I think that scene's hilarious. Yeah, there's just little moments like that are just funny. But yeah, there's definitely pacing issues. I think mainly the pacing issues are at the beginning.
Yes, 100%.
When like the droids are like being transported and like there's
You
just
know,
but once they get on their mission, I think like it really picks up and it's like this shit rules.
you know what I'd love? If they just redid the back half of this movie. Not even redid, but like made a movie that was based on an X-Wing pilot and made it like Top Gun. Like
Yeah.
put us in the cockpit, show us like these really cool moves. Have like Poe Dameron, like fucking, you know, in the cockpit or whatever, fucking pulling the G's, making us feel like it's intense and grounded and real instead of just like, like, oh, this is easy, no big deal. With the radio, they're like,
Hey man, I think that's that scene at the end with the fighter pilots at the end. I think that shit is great.
the fighter pilots at the end.
Yeah, when
Where,
they're
where,
where they're attacking
Darth
the
Vader
Death
goes
Star.
spinning.
Yeah, I think all
Yeah.
that shit's great. Like
all that shit's great,
Harold
but like,
Lear and, yeah.
it reminded me of the OG Top Gun. And I just recently saw Maverick not too long ago when it was out in theaters. And I'm like, man, a remake on this in that same sort of style would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like a
make it about the X-Wings, not necessarily like the people, but like about the equipment that they're using. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like. I've always liked
know.
the original Star Wars. I think
The original's great.
holds
It's great.
I think it holds
But
up pretty well.
it holds up.
I think a lot of the like added CG shit is terrible. Like but like you have to keep that in mind too. Like some of the things that they shot was just like is so impressive for the time. Like even now it still looks fucking sick. Like that opening shot with the big ship and the little ship. Like, that shit looks cool.
Such a great way to show size.
And just like TIE fighters, like look fucking awesome. Like they're so cool, and like X-wings are awesome. They're so. The sound design is fucking crazy. Like
so good,
and like even the sound of the lightsaber, like it's so fucking. It's cool, man. Like there's so much in this. It's just like it's so cool. And yeah, maybe I am overlooking like some of the stuff, but like. I think it's hard not to when this movie came out in like 1978, had a budget of like $1 million. Like
yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I don't know. Any fun facts? I don't know. There's it's a Star Wars. There's probably gajillion million.
There's so many fun facts on Star Wars. Episode 4 trivia. Man, let's see. I'll see if I can find something.
Fun facts about
George Lucas was so sure the movie would flop that instead of attending the premiere, he went on vacation to Hawaii with his good friend Steven Spielberg, where they came up with the idea of Indiana Jones. He's like, man, this movie's gonna flop. Let's come up with a better movie idea.
I think that's.
Could you imagine doing that? Like me and you, right?
Yeah.
One of us makes a movie.
That's crazy.
And you're like,
itself.
Yeah, that's what.
That's
in
crazy.
and of itself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, okay. Already. Maybe not like a movie, but like something that's releasing. Like say if you were still in the music, I'd say like an album. And you're like, man, this album's not gonna do good. I need the bud to like go to Hawaii with me and for X amount of months. And I'm like, dude, let's go to Hawaii. And then I bring my like guitar or ukulele or something. And we just fucking jam and we're like, this is fire. We should write this shit down. And we come back with another fucking banger.
Yeah, it'd be wild.
And you're like, holy
yeah,
shit, it worked out. But also, here's another thing. That's crazy to
it's
me.
like
That is,
it's like the album I was scared of releasing was Thriller, and then the album we wrote was Purple Rain.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think that was, I can't remember if it
Fucking
was
crazy.
Steven Spielberg or if it was Stanley Kubrick. He had George Lucas had a screening, like a very early screening, where he was just showing all his film friends, which were Steven Spielberg and Stanley Kubrick, which were just like all his buds. I think it was Spielberg who was like, "Hey, I think what would help with this and to make it make more sense is if you added an opening scroll that like explained what was going on." So I think that is attributed to Steven Spielberg was the opening scroll. Because
cool.
yeah,
and
without
that's a good idea.
because I know this movie had a lot of trouble, like it wasn't making sense, but then he like hired some editors who like had to edit it to like make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a fantastic job with what they were
They
given.
did a fantastic job.
Yeah, and the opening scroll really does like put you in the like, oh, I get this universe, like
yeah, it does a great job. Honestly, that first opening scroll, fantastic.
iconic.
But you can take out the first opening scroll now that Rogue One is a fucking movie.
That's true. Yeah,
like it's literally just this is what's happening. Here's the next movie.
it's true.
It's
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah,
It does a pretty good job. Rogue One does a fucking fantastic job of redoing the opening scroll.
I gotta give him that. Yeah, like Rogue One really does like, it does a good job of like retconning this like thing that we kind of made fun of for years about like how there's only like this small exhaust port or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This big old thing, but they gotta shoot this tiny little. Yeah,
because if we were,
it does a great
dude,
job.
if we were doing this spoiler cast back in like 2012, like that would be something we'd be saying right now. Like, what a stupid, like, how did they let that happen? But now that Rogue One exists, we're like, oh, it's yeah, that's because yeah, Jyn Erso.
Because Jyn Erso,
yeah,
or Galen Erso put the fucking bomb in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
I love Star Wars for that because it's just layers. It's just like, okay, well,
it's like Shrek.
Here we'll explain this little tiny section that everybody's making fun of. Oh, okay, they're tearing that apart. We'll explain this. I am waiting for the day where they retcon the fucking blade that she has to find the throne room on the Death Star.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do that.
I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they're gonna fucking have to.
Yeah, even just recently they like retconned episodes 1, 2, and 3 with Obi-Wan and like showing their relationship a little better than even the prequels did.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, with the flashback scenes.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones and David Prowse.
Mm-hmm.
Who played the voice and body of Darth Vader, respectively, never met.
Yeah, and David Prowse was like really pissed off because he thought he was going to be the voice, and they're like, "No, your voice sucks. You're just tall."
Damn.
Yeah, they're like, "You're just tall, so you're good as Darth Vader." But like James Earl Jones, he's got that voice.
He's got that black man voice, man.
Yeah, dude.
A very like in charge, large and in charge voice.
Mufasa, baby, let's go.
Mufasa, dude, he kills it. Although the respective characters obviously despise each other, Carrie Fisher found Peter Cushing to be very charming, polite, and humorous on set. They got along so well, in fact, that Fisher found a real challenge to act as if she hated him. That's
Tarkin.
That's Tarkin, yeah, Admiral Tarkin.
That's cool, actually. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like Carrie Fisher was just like fun to be around. Like, goddamn shame she's not. Dude, I'm still like, it just sucks so bad that they couldn't. Obviously, it sucks that she died, but like it just sucks that we never got to see like episode 9 with her actually like
with her training.
Yeah, like I feel like that would have helped the movie a lot, but
yeah,
we'll get there.
Maybe. I don't know the movies. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Every time I'm like the movies. Never mind. We'll talk about it. George Lucas's decision to accept a lower salary on the movie in exchange for full merchandising rights was considered a fool's gamble on his part. Toys based on movies had never been major money earners, though some movie toys combinations had done moderate retail returns. Because of the long gap between when a movie would go through its theatrical run and when any product based on would be available, this movie, however, was such a phenomenon that it reached the holiday 1970 sales period in a full swing and changed the way movies were merchandised forever. So he got fucking bank.
Billions.
He got fucking
Yeah.
bank.
Oh yeah. That's why he finished doing Indiana Jones, and he's like, I'm not doing shit until Star Wars Episode 3. Like, he didn't do shit after Star Wars. He didn't even direct.
Yeah.
He didn't even.
I mean,
he barely
why would
was
you-
involved with Indiana Jones.
why would you want to work again? You know, you wouldn't. You have to. The fucking royalties from just the toys.
Yeah,
Fucking,
he didn't have to.
you're
do
set.
anything. Yeah,
You're set. You may not be the richest man in the world, which he obviously isn't, but
dude, he's up there.
He's up there. I don't know how much he makes, but he's up there.
George Lucas net worth $5.8 billion.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he doesn't even own Star Wars anymore.
Yeah. Well, 4 of that billion came from Disney, but just think about it. Like, before Disney, he was already worth $1.8 billion.
Mhm. Yeah. Crazy. Here, we'll do one more. The skeleton that C-3PO passes belongs to a Tatooine creature called Greater Great Dragon. This artificial skeleton was left in the Tunisian desert after filming and still lies there. During filming of Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, the site was visited by the crew once more, and the skeleton was still there. In The Mandalorian Chapter 9, The Marshal episode, locals on Tatooine join with sand people to fight and kill one of these serpents. I think that's kind of cool that they've just kind of, this little thing that you see in the distance of the sand as C-3PO is walking out in Tatooine is another like thing. Like, what is that thing? And we got a full episode of The Mandalorian that explains what this thing is. And I think that's kind of cool.
That thing is cool, though.
It is very cool. I'm excited to get to the Mandalorian.
That was also the scene that we were watching last night, and I was like, man, it had to have sucked to like
to be Anthony Daniels in that. Yeah,
it had to have been so hot because they went to like Saudi Arabia or something, right? Yeah, to film that stuff. So,
oh my god, no way!
It cut out.
Early drafts of the am I back?
You're back.
In early drafts of the script, R2-D2 could speak standard English, and he had a rather foul vocabulary. Although all of R2's English speech was removed, many of C-3PO's reactions were left in.
I love that.
That's pretty funny.
I
think that's pretty good.
I love the use of like R2 being like, I gotta get this done, and C-3PO like having to be the translator for R2-D2. I like that dynamic.
Yeah.
I think it's iconic.
All right, Mr. Iconic.
All right, let's fucking rank this. All right, I got it up here. So
he's got it up here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wait. It was playing back. Anyway, sorry. Where would you put this?
Where would I put this?
Yeah.
Where would I put this?
Yes, where would you put this?
I would put it at number 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's where I would put it.
Oh my god.
100%. Number 3.
You know what I'm going to say, bro.
If you can put it at number 1, I swear to God, if you put it at number 1, you're very wrong.
It's the best one, dude.
It is not the best one.
It's the best one.
It is not.
So far, out of everything we watch, it's the best one.
Nope. You're absolutely wrong.
It's the best one.
You are wrong. Wrong.
It's the best one.
Wrong. What are we gonna do? What can we do?
I don't know. You want to fight about it?
I want to fight about it.
Let's just put it at number 3. Just fucking settle it.
See, that's where it belongs. Like I said, number 3, bam. See, told you where it belongs.
I disagree, but I think it's the best one out of these.
I don't even think Revenge of the Sith should be above Rogue One. I don't think Revenge of the Sith should be at number 1, but you fought against that. So here we are.
What do you think it should be?
Under Rogue One.
Oh.
I think Rogue One is the best one that we've seen so far.
Okay, well, let's fucking switch Rogue One in episode 3
Okay, and put it at number 2.
and put it at number
Episode
2.
4 at number 2.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. Perfect. Got what I wanted, bitch.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Fuck you. We got more
You
movies
do it,
coming
yeah?
in.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
do it.
If you could do it, because it's on my other computer. It's kind of hard to type on that thing.
Okay. Rogue One, number 2. Let's paste that in. And then number 3, Star Wars.
You can just call it Star Wars.
I could just call it Star Wars.
Except it's not. It's A New Hope because we watched the special edition.
Yeah, that's true. Star Wars: A New Hope. Would it be episode 4?
It'd be episode 4. That works. Yeah, man.
Because then it would just be long. It'd be Star Wars Episode 4, Star Wars Episode 3, Star Wars Episode 1, Star Wars,
Next week.
I'm happy with this list.
Next week we're gonna fight. I actually we might not fight.
I
next week.
don't think we're fighting next week. Are you kidding me?
I think the week after next we're gonna be fighting for sure.
The week after.
I fucking love episode 6. I'm like so standalone in that. I love that. That's like my favorite Star Wars movie. Anyway, that's been Star Wars. Nick doesn't like the olds. He's ageist.
I don't like the old.
He's ageist.
Out with the old, in with the new.
You know, I respect it, dude. I do. I respect that.
But also respect the old.
Yeah, you got.
Like I respect the old, but also the old's not as good as the new. Except for like you know what I mean. There's some new that's not very good.
Oh yeah.
And we'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that.
Episode 7. Oof. Just kidding. I love that movie.
That's okay. That's probably one of the better ones.
I feel like we're gonna fight about that one too, but that's okay. We'll get there.
It's gonna be an
Star Wars
interesting.
is way more contentious than Marvel, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's been the show.
I care about it more. That's why.
Yeah, and I think for me, I've started to care less about Star Wars, but I still hold the original trilogy really close to me. You know? It's interesting.
I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. End the show. Come on. What are you doing?
Check out Last Week in Games by looking it up. And this show. We'll be back one day. She-Hulk comes out soon. We'll start watching that. There's 9 episodes, so in 9 weeks, we will meet up again.
Yep.
Do that.
Yeah, do that one.
And
I'm glad it's 9 episodes.
And Andor.
I'm glad Andor.
Andor starts in like 2 weeks
13?
or something.
That's
like
13 episodes, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
And there's 3 going to be dropping on the first day.
Yeah.
So super excited for that because no fucking Jedi. Very basic fucking, spy espionage bullshit. I love it. If it stays grounded and doesn't do anything dumb, it's 13 episodes, so it has time to tell a full story. I'm all in, baby. All in.
I can't wait to see him do bad things for the rebellion, like he said in the movie, even though I'm sure they're not going to show anything bad.
They might not. Yeah. I hope it is dark, though.
It won't be.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
This is why I think I said this last night. Star Wars should drop the Disney banner. They should drop the Disney banner and they should adopt the 20th century banner. Even though it's still just Disney, but like they should do that. So then it's not like as closely associated with Disney. I don't know. Just thinking aloud here. Anyway, check out the other shows.
I think Star Wars should be the exception for Disney.
To be dark?
Yeah.
I think Marvel should be the dark thing.
No.
Because Marvel's got
we already have dark superheroes. We don't need more.
I don't want every character.
Right?
Dark,
no, just like, every once in a while.
Yeah, come on, Blade man. And like Deadpool. And Wolverine.
Deadpool was pretty fucking dark. Wolverine was pretty fucking dark.
But they haven't made.
I guess that was Fox. Yeah,
they haven't made any of those.
But Multiverse of Madness was pretty fucking dark.
Was a little dark. Star Wars never struck me as like super dark.
I mean, come on. If you're like espionage, fucking Imperials, they're pretty much Nazis, right? You're gonna have people that are like Saw Gerrera, who are like doing bad shit to Nazis.
What do you
They're
do
gonna
though?
be,
What do you do that was
huh?
bad?
I don't know.
What does Saw
Maybe we'll
Gerrera
see
do?
it.
I hope we
Maybe
do.
we'll see it.
This is a big problem for me with Rogue One. I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah,
did he do?
what did he do? Well, maybe this will turn around. Maybe
I hope
Saw,
so.
maybe yeah, Andor will explain what Saw did and why he's no longer with the rebellion, and
So,
we'll get like him
rewatching Rogue
pulling
One,
off fingers of like Imperial officers or something like that.
rewatching Rogue One made me appreciate it more. I will say, like, I like it. It's not a bad movie, but
No.
anyway, yeah, check out our other shows. Subscribe, like, whatever. No one's watching. Who cares? Maybe in like 10 years, someone will like come across these videos and they'll be like, damn, these guys.
And we'll completely be like
We'll be like gone.
not friends anymore.
Or like just not doing YouTube, or like
Right.
doing a different YouTube thing, or like,
Mhm.
you know.
And then you'll just get a fucking paycheck and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, oh wow, we just got like 1,000 views on our Star Wars thing. Probably not.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. Anyway,
Fucking-
bye.